Good day. Welcome to Asoka Services again. We've been doing a number of different registers. We did a video on no paper-based registers, and we did a number of videos on the electronic register, the data collection tool, which is tier.net, the one that you are seeing here. I would like us to go through the practical side of tier today, putting together all those 3 videos that I will put on the description bar, the link to, together, so that you can see how it would look like on tier itself. Okay, the logo, my logo for tier, it's there at the bottom. You can see that's how tier would look like, as we have said. Double clicking it gives me this login screen. On the login screen, if you remember, we had said it tells you the different types of users that we get, and we explained the role for each. It's showing me the version, the system version that I'm using, 1.13.20. It also giving me the confidentiality agreement. Remember, we said the confidentiality agreement comes up if you log in for the first time, but you can always click on it. I've clicked on the agreement logo, and it gives me this. It's actually telling you what you are agreeing to, the confidentiality, that this data, it's a sensitive data that you cannot share with anyone. You can only use it for professional use. Clicked OK. You also have the forgot password option that we talked about. If I click on it, I need to know my user, the user that I want to be. Let me type in my admin user. Admin, and you can only get the question once you've typed in your user. Then it will ask me the question. I will then need to type in the answer. Then from here it will take me to a screen where I will be resetting my password, but I don't want to reset my password here, so I will cancel. The end user license, we will discuss it, but we'll discuss it when we are logged in already, because there's a portion that talks to it. Okay, let's log in. I would like to log in as the implementer. Remember, we said the admin and the implementer has more options than your user. So I would log in now as my implementer, put in my password. Sorry for that. That's my password. Okay, there I am. I'm logged in now on tier. Let's go. Let's discuss the layout as you see it. That's my facility tree. That's all the layers that we discussed about when we discussed on the other videos with the slides. I will put the link to all the videos below. This is the facility that I'm operating under. Just to make a disclaimer here, the facility, it's a real facility, but the patient data here is a training data. We've captured it. There's no real patient data. It's all data that we've created for training purposes. So let's go through the phase. You can see here, as I've said, is the facility interface, is the facility area that you see. If you look there at the bottom, on your left bottom, it tells you the user that is logged in. I've logged in as the implementer. It also gives you when last I did my dispatch. In my case, it's not applicable because I'm on a higher level, so I've never done a dispatch on this computer. It also gives me the version that I'm using. Remember, we said it's important to know the version because so that we keep using the latest version that we can get. This part tells me the level that I've logged in. I'm at the clinic, that's the name of my clinic, and there's a number of patients that I have. Upon pressing this, it will give me the list of patients that are registered there. Remember, we said this is only fake patients. There's no real patient data here. So as you can see, this is all your patient data that is there. Let's look at the menu bar. Remember, we had discussed the menu bar also on the other videos. This is your menu bar. I'll just do the clicking on the tabs that you see. That's the file, the backup. Remember, backup, all the users have, but the restore, loading, and the DES is only for the implementer and the admin. All the others are done by everyone. I won't go through the uses, how you do it. We have done in the other videos. The setup, it's only the implementer and the admin that you have the users. Let's click on the users just for you to see how it would look like. These users I've clicked on, it tells me that I have 3 users, and those are the name of the users. I can activate and deactivate. Remember, we have discussed that. Let me give you an example. This one is a user. I can choose to deactivate. You can see it changed there to deactivate on the status. I will activate it again. You can also choose to lock by clicking the lock. It's locked, yes. And then I don't want to lock it. It was just for this. Then I would unlock it. You can create new ones, or you can edit existing ones. As we had said, you also have the user, you also have, remember we said my details, it will show the details of my station. So let's see what it would show for me. There it shows the name and surname of the implementer and all the details and the questions. The permissions will tell you the facility that I'm having access to. So I'm not changing anything there. Adherence clubs. Remember, we did not, I don't think we looked at this more actively on the other videos. So let's close it again. It's under setup. I look at adherence club. It gives me all the list of clubs that I have on my database. It also gives me an option to activate or deactivate. You highlight a club. Can you see everyone is active now? Activated. Then let's deactivate this one. There it's changed to deactivate. I can also choose another one and deactivate, but I want all of them activated. We can also choose to edit an existing one. So I've clicked on that one. There you can see it can be edited. I can change the viral load month to whichever month I want. I can change the date that we created to today. The club type, it can be art, mixed, or pre-art. I don't want to change anything there. If you were to do a new club, it will give you, can you see it automatically gave me 14 there because my last club it's 13. Then I can put all the details. That was the setup of, I have to close. That was the setup. The adherence clubs, ne? Facility setup point, I think we also discussed it. Remember we said you can create different areas where you keep the files in your facility. If you want more details about it, you can look in the first video. So I have already service points in here. I can edit them or I can delete them. I can also create a new one. Let's create a new one, the West Wing that we did on the other one. And then save. There it shows there. And we said once you create it, you can allocate it to any patient. The analysis bar, we only looked at it. These are all the reports that we can generate. You can also generate HIV reports and list. These are all the reports as well as the TB one. Remember, we did not discuss it. We'll do separate videos for reports. The tools, remember station setup, loading, maintenance. We also said these ones, we will deal with them separately, these first 3. Test awaiting results. Let's press on that. You can see those are the tests that I have that I'm still waiting for the results. I can double click on that if I want to update, and I would then, can you see this one is grayed out. I cannot type anything unless I click results returned, then it opens up. Okay? So we can update. This is a smear. Let's say it is let's say it's negative, or we can leave it at positive, and then just take note. This is this is the one that we are updating here, so that once we are finished, we can see the details. Then we save it, and it's gone from that list. That was that one. Bulk capturing of adherence club, we said we will do it when we do the NAS guideline. I haven't captured anything or created any, patients, allocated any patients to the club. So we will discuss this when we discuss the guideline. The next one is duplicate facility folder merge. Okay, let's do an example for this one. Let me just first also get my patients so that I can see the patients. It will be easy for you as well. These are the list of patients. I've only taken the HIV one. So let's go back to duplicate folder merge. Remember we said on this screen, you can look up the patient or you can type in the file if you want, if you know the file. Let's do the lookup. I will just take any of the file for, you can look by any of these elements. So I will take the file and I'll just let's select the first file there, which is 920.417. And we search for that file and it gives us this patient. It's the same patient that we have there. So let's just say, double click on it. And then there's the patient there. Let's then take the second file that we want to merge with. Let's just, we'll use the surname and try and take this one. This one. Let's do a patient lookup and use the surname. I think that was, what was the surname? Moforosi. M-O-R-O. Sorry. It's M-O-G-O-R-O-S-I. We search. There's the patient. Let's double click. Remember now, I'm taking two different patients, but in your case, you would have the same patients would have looked up. I've taken this one and that one. And then let's say merge. It's asking you, are you sure you want to proceed? Remember, when you merge, I'm actually taking everything that is in this file and merging it with this one. And it will automatically delete this file. Let's see. The patient merge failed. Chances are high that it failed because these are two different patients and it might have clashing information. But if it was the two patients with same names, same addresses, same ailments and everything, it would merge it correctly. So let's close. Move facility data. Remember we said it does the same thing, but I will not move any facility data here because I only have one facility. So you would look up the facility and look up everything. Already it's telling you how many patients are in this file. This shows basically all the capturing that has been done. And then you can move it to any other facility. So that was this one. We finished that. Let's look at the view. Remember the view, we said it tells you the patients that you are seeing. The facility tree is this one, is this part. Can you see it's ticked? If I untick it, it takes away that facility tree. So we tick it back and then it gives us the facility tree. That's the view for facility tree. HIV patient, let's click on that. It's giving me all HIV records that I have. Currently, I'm having 34 of HIV records. The TB one, if I click that, it will give me my TB registrations. I currently have 12. Those are all the views that we did. Let's go to the window. Remember, we said the window gives us a different view. Let's click on Cascade and you'll see what it does. Can you see it has taken my TB patient, HIV, and all of the windows that I had opened as I was going through. It has put them in a cascade. There's this one, behind is the other one, and behind. It's like that. It puts them you know, they follow each other. That's a cascade for your window. If we put them in a tile horizontally, the same files, can you see this and that and that and that? They are all horizontally in a tile. And then we change and say vertically in a tile. Did I click vertically? Oh, it's not doing anything. But anyway, it changes the views. This is a cascade. This is the other one. I think it's because of the space. But basically, it changes the view. You can play around with it. And I can decide to close all of them. So let's click at that, and it closed all of the windows that we saw. So it will then take us back to where we were, where I will have to generate my patients again. That was the window. And the help one, we said if you click on this one, it gives you this one. And if you click on this, it gives you everything that you might want to see or to learn about. Log in, everything that you might want to learn about. You can close it. User manual. It should bring up the manual that is relevant to our 1.3.13.2. This is the user manual. It's a user guide for that version. So it's a version relevant to the one we are using. Then the reports manual, it will give you a manual that you can use to interpret reports. Report manual for that version. Then your links, remember we said the links, it gives you exactly where your files are. Let's open the backup folder. Can you see by clicking on this? It should take me exactly to where it's supposed to be. There, it brings up that screen. These are the backups that I have currently. If I would, let's do the last one, the last link to export file folder. I do not have any exports, so you might have if you had done any exports before. So we've done the end, okay, the end user we did not do. This is the agreement, remember we said it's between the user and the university, the developers. Then the last one will be the about. This is what it gives you. It tells you the developers and the contact details for everyone. Then I think we have come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and it gives you an overview or a feel of how tier would look like. I would not want, we were supposed to also do we've only done the menu bar. We are supposed to do the navigation bar as well. Let's do the navigation bar in the video that follows. Otherwise, this video will be too long. Goodbye for now.